Jason for We the People News. Alright, so I never look straight forward, always look around me, for the outside forces may want to commit harm upon me. And I'm always looking around to be able to protect myself by any means necessary. I'm not an attorney. This is a learning video. And I do not recommend anybody to just dive in. In order to do certain things in life, you got to be age majority and not an adult. You guys have to look that up to fully understand. Alright, so this is going to go along the lines of all the other videos I've said in the past. You know, you'd never ever understand, right? And each and every time I kind of look around at this, that, here and there, but also never make a claim on certain things, okay, unless it's that benefits you. Alright, let's see what he has to say.
We're doing some bizarre things with the IRS, and if you have any questions later, you can ask it. But what's happening is the IRS is pulling their hair out. For those of you that don't know, the IRS is not part of the federal government, okay? Therefore, if you try to sue the IRS, there's no court for you to go to. So you sue a federal agency in federal court. You sue a state agency in state court. So the IRS is like a diplomatic immunity. They have diplomatic immunity because there's no court for them. So the only way you can sue the IRS is to get them to violate a federal statute. Then you can sue, not the IRS, but you can sue for the violation of the federal statute. I know that sounds bizarre, but that's what's happening. So,
What court do you go to?
okay, you would go to a federal court. The problem is, I wrote letters to the federal district court. It took me about 15 times. I emailed them. I become an irritant. So they answered me. Does the federal district court have jurisdiction over the IRS or federal taxes? They came back and said, no, absolutely not. So, how do you sue somebody that has no jurisdiction? They work for the IMF. That's the International Monetary Fund. Now, I'm going to ask you a question, and listen to the question carefully. Who does the federal government work for? The people.
Yeah,
Okay, see? No, not the people.
yeah.
Okay, so who do they work for?
The IMF.
Okay, so
The Vatican.
Okay, so the IMF and the IRS, they're equals. They both. Now, how do I say that? Well, because I have the document if you want to see it. What it says is, Ronald Reagan in 1985 said, let's do an investigation where the taxes go. Now, one nickel that we pay in taxes goes to the federal government. It goes to the IMF. So, if the federal government wants money, where do they go? They don't come to us. They go to the IMF. So when you sue the IRS in federal court, they can't hear it because there's nothing federal in it. Now the Federal Reserve is not federal and there's no reserves. So what we have is we have a rogue agency. So how do you get the rogue agency? What I'm finding out is I never make a claim. For an example, does anybody in here ever file or use affidavits? Does anybody even know what an affidavit is? Okay, has anybody ever used one? Okay, I refuse to use an affidavit. Now, why is that? Okay, for those of you that use it, how do they work? They don't work, do they?
It's a statement.
Okay, you made a statement. Now you got a problem. Okay, I, Terry Zolman, am a living, breathing man. That's my statement. What's a living, breathing man? According to Title I section, it's a woman. So I'm out. That now pronounced, I can't hear. So I never use any claim. I never make a claim under any circumstance. So when I use an affidavit, I will say, this affidavit is to answer the questions asked above. My yes is yes, and my no is no. Now they're screwed. Why? Because now there's no claim for them to do it. See? Now I'm going to ask you a question. I've been very kind with my time. I need 500 for today. Is that a fair price for today? 500.
500 what?
See how simple this is? 500 what?
There it is.
See, that's what the IRS is doing to us. So what happens is they've been sending us publication 1. Our rights as a taxpayer. I thought, well, let's use that. So I read through it, and now what we're doing is publication 1, section 3 says you are only liable for the taxes you owe, not 1 dime more. So we go to the tax court. The tax court contacts the commissioner. The commissioner says we never gave them a notice of deficiency or a notice of determination, therefore we have no jurisdiction. They never made a claim. So if there's no claim, and they say that you owe 100,000, 2,000, billion, trillion, it makes no difference. That's a claim. If they never made a claim, then they're charging me more than I owe. So what we're doing now is we're putting together a letter saying, under publication 1, section 3, I don't have to pay 1 penny more than I owe. Here, I never had a claim. And I never say, you said, they said, your testimony. The reason why I'm saying that is because we got a couple of attorneys that get up there and say, well, according to my testimony, well, okay, that's even better. So their testimony said they don't have jurisdiction. They never gave me a notice of deficiency or notice of determination. Therefore, there's no claim. If there is no claim, you said $100,000. Guess what they just did? They violated federal law. I can now sue the IRS agent in federal court. Why? They violated federal law.
That brings them in because of what they did.
That's right, so we can break it off in them. Does that make sense? So instead of saying, I'm gonna sue you, they laugh at us. They laugh at us. Why? They have immunity. There is no court that can house them. Does that make sense? So I'm gonna ask this question. Do dogs or cats smell the worst?
What are they smelling?
Right, you sniff it. Which one stinks the most? Which one smells worse, a dog or a cat?
Our software is the
Anyway.
worst. Have you heard of HubSpot?
It gets a little tricky, don't it, y'all?
What's worse?
See? Do you see how simple this becomes? Because if you said dogs, I said, no, they don't. Cats do. I don't like cats. See, now it becomes a personal preference. That's what we got to stay away from. Don't make a claim. Does that make sense? I make no claims under any circumstance. For those of you that want to see it, yes.
I just want to, since I heard you talk, several times, Gary, I like watching things that are being written places. So I was thinking about this in the terms of the vax. That's not a vax. So the CDC or whoever claims to be Pfizer or whatever is saying, is this much effective, so to speak. And so then I was thinking, I looked up the word effective.
There you go.
Everyone better look up the word effective. It's like to a means of, like an end or a means of something. So it could be effective for the depopulation,
Right.
not effective to treat.
So you can use it against anyone that approaches
See?
the government.
So what I do is I do that all the time. Now,
So when we claim, when we go after them, say, you said it was effective, it's like, we didn't tell you what we meant, though.
there you go. See? So the point that I'm trying to show you is what I'm doing is the one problem we have is we took a video of a guy that followed my procedure in the property tax, and they can't answer the question.
I'm gonna pause it right quick, just in case it's a strike thing. He gets in a little bit more details, but basically what he's saying still overall is what I've been saying the whole entire time. Whatever they're doing, you do not understand. So when they ask you anything, I don't understand the question. Don't answer their questions. Challenge jurisdiction. So if they don't have jurisdiction and you challenge it, well, there you go, right? I like his better. You know, anytime you answer a question, you are making claims. Alright, and I'm still working through this because through my deals of all this, you know, I'm looking everywhere around me, okay, and it always kind of led me into one particular deal. The reason why I like this one is because it's way outside the box, right? It's definitely not straightforward. It's so far outside the box, it'll make you crazy, right? and it's so easy. But you know, when you watch this video, it seems complicated. But once you start getting the hang of this, right? Then it becomes easy. It's so easy that it's hard, okay? Einstein didn't know how to tie his shoes because he cannot drop his level of intelligence down enough to be able to figure out how to tie his shoes. Okay? Well, and this is what's happened to us. We've been trained in this certain area and we're having a hard time getting our mind switched to a different way of thought.
And the reason for it is, property taxes are paid already. They're already paid. All they got to do is build the Federal Reserve and they're paid. We're the surety. So they're double dipping. They love that extra money. Now they've got extra money that they don't have to tell us about. Now the reason taxes are so dear to my heart, because if you work 60 or 70 hours a week, bring home $300, you can't make it. You got to eat food that's bad for you. I've got to eat meat that's that close to spoiling, or I've got to eat bread. I got to peel the mold off. Why? Because I don't have the money. See? So the reason I don't dislike taxes, I dislike taxes the way they're administered. Now the IRS says, and then number 7 of publication 1, I read it real careful. It says we have a right to privacy. That's our right. Now the question is, you owe $100,000, we're coming for it. Wait a minute, my privacy is now violated because there's no claim. So I got them twice. So we write a letter saying, you violated publication 1, section 3, and section 7. Here's what it says, here's what you did. And they don't know what to do with it. They absolutely don't know what to do with it. Now I got them, and I tell them right in the letter, if you so much as take one more step, I'm going to a judge on the grounds you violated publication 1, section 3, section 7. Now that's federal law.
So now you got 2 claims against
Now we got 2 claims against them. See? So when I go to court, well, he doesn't want to pay taxes. Nobody wants to pay them. That ain't the issue. I don't have to pay any more than I owe.
Right.
See? Now, I went to a restaurant with Gary and Glenn, and we got there, and there was a nice young lady who was waiting on the table. I thought, I'm going to just jack with her. I said, I'm asking you, does this shirt make me look fat? No! Oh, so you're saying I'm fat? No, I didn't say that. See? Now they're on the fence. I come up with the most bizarre, this is stupid. Does this shirt make me look fat? No? Okay, then what do you say?
It's totally
Vagabond?
out of reach, right?
Oh, it's not the shirt. Oh, so I'm fat. Is that what you're saying? Well, no, that's not what I said. Then what is it? Then tell me, what are we talking about? See, I never made a claim. I'll let them make the claim. Once she made the, no, okay, so you're saying I'm fat. I didn't say you were fat. No, you said the shirt didn't make you look fat, but you're telling me that this isn't fat. See, this is what I do to them. I never make the claim. I ask the question. Does that make sense? So what's happening is, in the property tax area also, for those of you that have property tax, it's not about the tax.
I'm going to keep this short. But it's going to be part 2. Alrighty? If you guys want to follow along with it. Alright? Lisa for We the People News. Bye, y'all.